Hello and welcome to another holiday edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where the puzzle on the screen is not the puzzle I'm going to be attempting in this video. Instead, Mark has asked me, which he does sometimes, to open the puzzle he wants me to do live on screen. And the email he sent me the puzzle link with contains some really interesting comments from Mark himself. Mark says that we're closing in obviously on 500,000 subscribers on the channel. And he said that this puzzle is so good that it could bring another 500,000 people to advanced Sudoku. So that sounds like praise indeed. In fact, why don't we just get this over and done with? I'm very anxious to see what it is that I'm going to be attempting today. So let me load up the puzzle. Here we go. Do some clicking. Here we go. And the puzzle is by Glipperal 178. With a lot of little killer clues with question marks in it. Right, let me just read the rules. So I'll read them quickly. Normal Sudoku rules apply. A clue outside the grid shows the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal. None of these individual clues is given in this puzzle, but the sum of all the question mark clues together is 178. Oh God, that's ridiculous. That is... Well, it's wonderful. That is wonderful. If this solves smoothly, that is quite simply fabulous. So what Glipperal's done apparently is, so these clues individually, if this question mark had a number by it, it would be indicating the sum of these digits I've just highlighted on that diagonal. And this one in the corner would be highlighting these cells along the diagonal. And all we're being told is that all of these diagonals together sum to 178, and that the puzzle solves uniquely from there. That is, if that's true, that is up there with the Miracle Sudoku for sort of surprisingly astonishing things. Right, well, I want to try this, but first of all, before I do that, we are closing on 500,000 subscribers. If we get there, well, we've got treats. We've got treats in store. The first treat is that our book, Cracking the Cryptic Greatest Hits, is available for a discount. We have very few copies left. If you want it, you can get it using the discount code that's in the video description. Do get one. It's really cool. It's a good book. The other thing is, if and when we reach 500,000 subscribers, we are going to be releasing a free app, completely free app on all normal platforms, featuring handmade puzzles by the great and the good of the Sudoku community. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's coming hopefully very soon. So if you're not subscribed and you want a free app full of brilliant puzzles, you know what to do. Now, that said and done, I want to try this puzzle. So I think I've sort of explained the rules already. It is what we said. So those 4 digits, let's put some digits in just to make sure we're all on the same page. You can repeat digits unless Sudoku rules prevent you. So these 3 digits would sum to 16 and 13, which is 29. Not 3 digits, 4 digits. They would sum to 29. So this clue could have been a 29 if this was an 8768 diagonal. And all we're told here is the sum of all these diagonals is 178. So what we should presumably do, by the way, if you want to play the puzzle, do click the link under the video. That will take you to a page that looks identical to this one, where you can play the puzzle on whichever device takes your fancy. And now I'm going to play Let's Get Cracking. And the first thing I'm going to do here is to highlight, I think, all of these diagonals, although I'm slightly worried that some of them are going to cross each other. So how are we going to do this in some sort of efficient way? Let's use purple. So we'll highlight all of the diagonals in purple and see if some sort of... Oh, no, we do. Okay, this is going to be more complicated than I thought. Some of these diagonals do actually hit other diagonals. So this is instantly complicated. Okay, let's try and find... Let's start by finding diagonals that don't overlap with each other. That one doesn't overlap with anything. This one doesn't. Oh, this is getting... But some of them are already overlapping aplenty. This one doesn't, look. This one doesn't, and that one doesn't in the corner. Now we've got to go through again and look for instances where diagonals overlap. So this diagonal clearly overlaps. It overlaps in 2 places. This cell and this cell. So when we highlight this diagonal, which I'm going to do in purple, I'm going to give two of the digits, i.e. this one and this one, an extra moniker. I'm going to make those red flashed to indicate that those digits actually appear on two diagonals. This cell as well, look. Oh, this one's got loads of overlaps. Oh my goodness, this one here. So the overlaps on this diagonal are there, and there. All of those get a red flash, and the rest of the diagonal just becomes solitary purple. Now this diagonal, we've got overlaps here and here by the looks of things, so they get red flashed, and those get purplified. Now, is there anything else that's overlapping that I've not picked up upon? I hope not. There could be though, couldn't there? I don't think so. I'm just double checking this one. That's purple as well, isn't it? Because that's pointing to both of those cells. Ah, so is this a double overlap? Yes, it is. Look, I almost missed that. That diagonal and this diagonal overlap in that position. Gosh, it's easy to make a mistake here. So that's, well, this is a map then of how this 178 is made up, because basically what we're saying is that 178 is the sum of all of the purple digits once each, and a digit that was in a purple and red square, let's imagine that square was a 5, we'd have to count that twice to reach the 178 total, because it's going to be counted once in this clue and once in this clue down here from this side. So obviously within the 178 it's counted twice. So everything with a red flash has to be counted twice. Now, it's quite a complicated pattern though immediately, isn't it? So are we going to be looking at maximum or minimum here? The sum of the whole Sudoku grid is 405. All of the digits in a Sudoku sum to 405. And you can know that or learn that by using the secret. Now the secret is something I only tell my favourite people, but if you're watching this video you're definitely one of my favourite people. And the secret is that the digits 1 to 9 sum to 45. Now in Sudoku each box therefore sums to 45 because of the rules of Sudoku, and there are 9 such boxes, and 9 lots of 45 is 405. So 178, it looks to me like we've highlighted more than half of the grid. So if that's the case, we're probably looking at minimising the purple squares. So how can we do that? Well, okay, let's try that. So box 1, if we were to minimise those purple squares, we'd put 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 into those squares. We wouldn't put 6, 7, 8 and 9 in. So these squares would sum to 15. Now we're going to have a lot of maths to do here, so how are we going to do this? Let's just remember that this box, the minimum sum we can make those cells is 15. The minimum sum I can make these cells is 6 by putting 1, 2 and 3 into them in some order. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, so that one's 6. When we've got red cells, they're going to get complicated. Let's do ones without red cells first. So this could be 1, 2, 3 and 4. They add up to 10, therefore. Let's put 10 in. Like this. In fact, maybe, I'm just thinking, maybe I'd be better off putting the totals. Yes, I'm going to put the totals in the white cells for these boxes, because that might allow me to do some pencil marking in the purple cells. So let's do it like this instead. Although I'm going to run out of white cells in boxes like that, aren't I? This box down here, that's another 15 box. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 is the minimum. So let's put 15 in there. Okay, and I think every other box has a double cell, a red cell in it. So let's start with this one. What's the minimum we can make those cells add up to? Well, if I put 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5 here, and that, well, then I've got a doubled cell. So the absolute minimum I could make this would be if I double a 1 in this cell, wouldn't it? And then go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the rest of the cells. So the triangular number for 6, i.e. what's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, that's 21. So with this cell here counted twice, that would be 22. So the absolute minimum that we could make this, those 6 digits add up to is 22. What about these 4 digits here? Okay, so if we put 1 and 2 into the double counted cells and 3 and 4 into the single counted cells, that would add up to 10 plus 3, which is 13. This one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. So again, we're looking at putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 into all the cells and putting the lowest 2 digits into those cells to add another 3 on. So that's 24 for this one. Quite interested to know how close we are or aren't getting to 178. But let's carry on a bit longer. Oh, this one is interesting because that's almost all the digits. That's 8 digits here. So the minimum we could make is by leaving off the 9. Let's put the 9 in the white cell. So we'd be summing 8 digits. Now the triangular number for 8, i.e. what's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 is 36. And we put 1 and 2 into those squares. So that's 39 into this one. And then this one, which is 7 cells, as my laptop fan goes into overdrive. Well, the triangular number for 7 is 28. And we could put 1, 2, and 3 in here, couldn't we? So that would be adding another 6 on, so that's 34 into there. So what is the sum of all of these? Now hopefully we'll get something close to 178, and then it's just going to be a case of shuffling these red cells around somehow, hopefully. So 25, 59, 65, what's that, 87? 100, 124, 139, 178. It's 178. Right, well that's great. That's great, because that basically means I think we have a chance of solving this with some sort of, without too much trickery. That's ridiculous, isn't it? So apparently we are looking at absolutely minimizing everything. So I'm going to now get rid of all these totals. Because now we know, for example, in this box, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. We know that in this box, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 septuple, but the 1s, 2s, and 3s are the cells in the overlaps, in the double counted cells. So I'm going to fill in all of these double. Oh, that's a 1. That's the only double counted cell in this box. So we would have made that the 1 in order to get to the minimum. So this is a 1, 2 pair. This cell's a 9, because that must be a 9. That was the digit we left out of purple. These two digits are an 8, 9 pair, so we can fill in the 9 here and the 8 here. Okay, this 1 is doing some work. Look, that's 1, that's 2. That's got to be 2 by Sudoku, because there's no longer a 2 in these cells, so they become a 1, 3 pair. This is a 2, this is a 1. Oh, this is just lovely. It's just so lovely. Right, this box has got a 1, 2, 3 triple in its purple. So that's 3, that's 1, and that's 2 by Sudoku. 2 goes here by Sudoku using these 3 digits. Okay, there's a 1 in one of those 2 cells. Oh no, I can't quite do that. I was thinking I was going to be able to place 2 in this string of purples, but I then saw I couldn't do that. That's got to be a 1, because we've got to put a 1 in one of these purples, and 1 is ruled out from the others. So there's a 1 in one of these 2 positions. Okie dokie. So this is a 3, 4 pair, but there's a 1, 3 pair looking down. So this is 3, this is 4. So this is 3, because there must be a 3 in purple. Okay. Oh, I tell you something. 9 must be in white in box 7. So that's got to hide in this cell, which means these 2 cells have got to be a 7, 8 pair. So what's that digit? That digit is a 6, because again, we must be putting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the purples. So the whites in box 8 have got to be 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that cell by Sudoku now is just a 6. Okay, so these squares are 7, 8, and 9. And that's not 9. Does that help us at all? Not really. 8 has got to be in one of those two cells. I'm not sure whether I'm meant to focus on the white cells or the purple cells at the moment. Or maybe... oh, I don't know. No, okay, so now I'm getting a bit stuck. Come on, Simon. There's a 9 in one of these two cells. So there's a 9 here. If you're not familiar with sort of advanced Sudoku, pause the video and see if you can work out why this cell is a 9. Agat Mator style. If you manage to do it, congratulations. But this is why. It's because we know that the 9 in this box is in one of those 3 positions. Therefore, if we think about row 5 and ask where 9 can go, it's not in those 2, it can't be in these 3, it's not here by Sudoku, so it must only be there. Which places 9 in the corner up here, which does that do anything else? It means 9 is in one of those 2 positions in box 2. And these squares, well, that's got to be... No, these are not a 6-7 pair necessarily. This square does have to be a 6 or a 7. Let's put that in. But this square could be a 5, 6 or a 7 because there are 5 white cells that we've got to fill in box 2. Right, so we're going to have to think harder. How should we do that? Maybe let's look at all the ones we've got. How many ones we've got? We've got 6 ones in the grid. And I see we've pencil marked the other 3 and they don't seem to be aligning. Okay, so that's not a good way to look. Let's have a look at 2s. Feels like we might be able to do more with 2s. Yes, okay, I can place a 2 in the middle of the grid using similar logic. 2s have to be in one of these 2 cells. They have to be in purple in box 8. And now we can ask where 2 goes in column 5. Look, it can't go in these cells because of the pencil mark 2s. And it can't go in these cells because of these pencil mark 2s. And it's not a 1. And it can't go there by Sudoku. So it goes in the middle of the grid here. And now we can place, so we've got the 2 over here, so we can't do any more. So now we've got 7 2s and just this little X-wing of 2s to resolve. And I suppose these squares now have to be 4, 5 and 6, don't they? Okay, we're going to go full ham with the pencil mark in an attempt to work out what's going on. That's got to be 7, 8 or 9. It could get very complicated very quickly. What about 3s then? Let's say we don't know much about 3s. Yes we do. There's got to be a 3 here by Sudoku using this 1-3 pair. So that means we've actually got we can place 3, I see, in box 8. That's going to be good. Let's place this 2, which unwinds our X-wing on 2s. It places 3 by Sudoku in this cell. It places 3 here, 1 here. Oh, this is mad now. It's going 1, 1. All the 1s in the grid are now done. This is now a 3 by Sudoku, so that's a 3, and I think all the 3s have just suddenly got done. We've got a 4, 5 pair here. We've got... Have we got anything else going on? Do we use this 4 somehow? Is that going to be important? Yeah, okay, so there's got to be a 4 in this domino in box 9. So there's got to be a 4 in this domino in box 3. And there's got to be a 4 exactly there in box 2, because this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. This is just remarkable. It's just remarkable, isn't it? That this is solving as smoothly as it is. It's crazy. So across the top now we've got 5, 6, 7 quadruple. That can't be 6. It's got to be 5, 6 or 7, as have all of those digits. That can't be 5 in case that's going to matter. These are 6, 7 and 8. Okay. Maybe... Can we do better with... Well, those squares there are a 4, 5 pair. And there's a 4 here, so we can do better. That's 4, that's 5. Which means this digit is no longer able to be 5. So there is a 5 in this domino. which means there's a 5 here or here in box 2. Can we get something done with this 6? Not sure. Okay, now I'm stuck again. What are these digits? Those are a 4. That's a 6 in the corner, look. Because we know we've got to put 4, 5 and 6 in purple, and there's a 4 and a 5 looking at that square, so that's a 6. And this is a 4, 5 pair, and the 5 up here is beautiful. That fixes it, which means 5 is in one of those 2 squares. Now, where does 5 go in this row? Look, we know there's a 5 here. We know there's a 5 here, so there's no 5 along there. That's got to be 5. That's got to be 9, which means there's a 9 in this domino by Sudoku, and we can see that mapping onto this square here. Okay, 8 goes here by Sudoku now in box 6, which means this is a 6, 7 pair, which means that square has become a 5. Gets us a 6, 7 pair up here, and those are a 4, 8 pair at the bottom, and there's a 4 there. Yeah, it's filling. I think it's filling in. 4, 8, 8. This isn't 8 anymore. There's an 8 in one of 2 places in box 2. This square here's a 6 to complete its row. So these are a 5, 7 pair, which we must be able to do. This is 5. This is 7. And now we will argue about, I don't know. Is it going to be, this 4 is giving us a 6 here. So that becomes a 4, 5 pair. So this column now just needs 6, 7s and 9s. So that cell has to be a 6 or a 7. That's got to be a 6, 7 or a 9. Has that done it? 5 can't go there anymore. And I think that means 5 goes in the top cell. Which means this square is only able to be 7 or 8 in this column. And using this 9 here. And that is very important for the following reason. He says, hoping his brain will catch up with the reason, because I haven't spotted what it is yet. This has got to be, these have got to be 6, 7s. Oh yeah, where's 6 go in row 4? It can't go here, look, so it must go there. Which means this square is a 7 or an 8, which gives us a 7, 8 pair in this column and makes this square a 4, which has probably been available for a while. That square's a 4, that square's a 5, that square's a 5. This square is a 7 or an 8. That means, yeah, this is lovely. Look at this column. Now this can't be a 6 because of this 6. In fact, look, there's lots going on. We've got a 7, 8 pair here, which makes this the 6 and this the 7. But now 6 in this column must be in this domino here, which means that square can't be a 6, so that's got to be a 7. That's a 6, that's a 7. This becomes a 6, 8 pair, therefore that's a 7. This is an 8. That's an 8 using our pencil marking. So this is the 8 in row 4. That's 8, that's 7. This square here is not 8 anymore. So we've got 7, 9 pair here. This can't be a 7 because of the given 7. Well, not the given 7, the hard-earned 7 there. So this is 9. This is 7. This is 9. This is a 6, 7 pair. So that's 9. That's 7. And hopefully something will disambiguate this. Yeah, this 7 gives us 7, 6, 6, 8. My goodness me. That is just simply sensational. That is as clever a thing as you will ever see. How, Glipperl, did you find this out? Because imagine setting yourself this task. Imagine setting yourself the task of having these question mark clues around a grid and giving a single total such that a solver can fill it in 25 minutes. You know, completely logically. It's magnificently clever, Glipperl. I absolutely loved that. I loved it. Let me know in the comments how much you admire this. I hope it's half as much as I do. That is one of the great puzzles, simply one of the great puzzles. The universe has properly sung to us today, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.